What are the root causes of behavioral issues in children diagnosed with autism? This is a question that not only parents and caregivers grapple with, but also educators who play a crucial role in these children's lives. Autism, a neurodevelopmental disorder, is often characterized by a wide range of symptoms that can vary greatly from one child to another. But one common thread that ties these unique experiences together is behavior. However, it's vital to understand that these behaviors are merely the tip of the iceberg. To truly comprehend why a child with autism behaves in a certain way, we need to delve deeper to explore the unseen part of the iceberg. That's where the root causes lie, often hidden from view, but playing a significant role in shaping the child's behavior. Dr. Elizabeth Torres, a leading expert in the field, has shed light on some of these root causes. She highlights symptomatic behaviors such as stimming, a repetitive action that some children with autism use to self-soothe. There's also the averted gaze, where a child might avoid eye contact, and ritualistic routines, which provide a sense of predictability and control. These behaviors aren't necessarily problematic, they're coping mechanisms, ways for the child to navigate their world. For instance, stimming can often help a child manage overwhelming sensory inputs. An averted gaze could be a response to social anxiety, while ritualistic routines help create a comforting sense of order in a world that may often seem chaotic. So, the goal here isn't to change these behaviors, but to understand them. As educators, it's about finding ways to work with them to create an environment that respects and accommodates the unique needs of every child. It's about recognizing that each behavior is a form of communication, a way for the child to express their needs, their discomfort, or even their joy. In this understanding lies the key to effectively supporting children with autism. And that's what we'll be exploring in the next few scenes. It's not about changing these behaviors, but understanding them and finding ways to work with them. How can teachers better support students with autism in the classroom environment? This question is paramount to anyone in the field of education. The answer lies in understanding and addressing the root causes of behaviors, rather than just responding to the surface level symptoms. Imagine an iceberg. What we see on the surface, the behavioral issues, are just the tip. Beneath the water lies the vast structure of root causes that drive these behaviors. Let's dive in. To begin with, increasing cues of safety through co-regulation is key. For a student with autism, the classroom can often feel like a minefield of unpredictable events and stimuli. By providing clear, consistent cues and a predictable structure, we create a sense of safety. This reduces stress and helps manage behaviors. Next, we can scaffold their learning. Scaffolding is a way of guiding students through a learning process, providing support at each step. For a child with autism, abstract concepts can be particularly challenging. This is where hands-on materials like Montessori resources come into play. These tools allow them to physically interact with the concepts they're learning, making the abstract tangible. It's like giving them a map to navigate through a previously uncharted territory. Lastly, we need to consider sensory stimulation. Many children with autism have heightened sensory sensitivities. The hum of fluorescent lights, the scratch of a pencil on paper, even the feel of their clothing can become overwhelming. By incorporating appropriate sensory stimulation or decreasing sensory load, we create a more comfortable environment for learning. Consider this: a pair of noise-canceling headphones to reduce the loud classroom noises, or sensory toys on the student's desk to provide a source of calming, self-regulating stimulation. These small adjustments can make a world of difference. Remember, these strategies aren't about changing the child to fit the classroom. They're about adjusting the classroom to fit the child. The traditional teaching style of punishment and reward may not work here. Instead, try to understand, empathize, and adapt. Incorporating these strategies can lead to long-lasting positive changes in the behavior of children with autism. But that's not all. Stay tuned to learn how these strategies can also benefit others in the classroom. Let's look at a real-life example of how these strategies can work. Imagine a vibrant classroom filled with the chatter and laughter of 7-year-olds. Amidst the joyful cacophony, there's a little girl who is different. She's incredibly bright, but she has a unique challenge. Every time the school bell rings, she experiences an overwhelming sensory overload, leading to a severe meltdown. The sudden loud noise is unbearable for her, disrupting her calm and creating a wave of distress that ripples through the classroom. Now let's introduce an innovative solution. The teacher, understanding the root cause of this behavior, decides to implement a simple strategy. The teacher sets a small personal alarm to ring 1 minute before the school bell. This little alarm acts as a gentle warning to the girl, giving her the time she needs to prepare herself for the impending sensory assault. The first time the alarm rings, the girl looks around startled. But with the teacher's reassurance, she understands it's a signal, a prelude to the loud bell. She covers her ears, bracing herself. When the school bell rings, she's ready. There's no meltdown, just a sigh of relief. With each passing day, the little alarm becomes a beacon of safety for her. She begins to trust this new routine. The meltdowns become less frequent, then almost non-existent. The small alarm, a subtle change in the classroom environment, empowers her to control her reaction to the bell. The effects of this small change echo throughout the classroom. The other students become more understanding, more empathetic. They learn that their classmate is not difficult or strange, but simply experiences the world a little differently. They learn to accept and even celebrate this diversity. The teacher, too, notices the positive change. The classroom is calmer, more conducive to learning. The little girl is happier, more engaged, and her potential starts to shine through. This small change, born out of empathy and understanding, was a game changer for the entire class. It's proof that when we adapt our teaching methods to the unique needs of our students, we can create an inclusive, supportive environment where every child can thrive. How can these strategies benefit all students, not just those who are neurodivergent, you may ask? Well, the beauty of these strategies lies in their universality. They do not solely cater to the needs of neurodivergent students, but extend to all learners, creating an environment that fosters inclusivity and support. Moving away from traditional punishment and reward systems, we shift towards a more empathetic, understanding approach. This method not only alleviates stress for children grappling with behavioral issues, but also cultivates an atmosphere of patience and understanding for all students. Let's consider the strategy of scaffolding. This approach, often used with children who have autism, breaks down learning into manageable chunks. It allows students to build on what they already know while gradually introducing new concepts. But isn't this beneficial for all students? Absolutely. All students, whether neurodivergent or not, can profit from a more structured, step-by-step learning process. In a similar vein, hands-on materials like Montessori resources, often used to help students with autism understand abstract concepts, can be advantageous for all learners. They stimulate curiosity, encourage independent thinking, and foster a deeper understanding of concepts by enabling students to explore and learn at their own pace. Let's also reflect on the usage of sensory tools, like headphones to decrease loud noises or sensory toys for self-regulation. While these tools are often associated with children on the autism spectrum, they can be equally beneficial for students who may struggle with sensory overload, anxiety, or stress. And what about co-regulation? This strategy, which increases cues of safety through shared emotional experiences, can be a game changer in the classroom. It fosters emotional resilience, empathy, and social skills, qualities that are valuable for all students to develop. By understanding and addressing the root causes of behavioral issues, we do more than just support neurodivergent students. We are creating a more inclusive and supportive learning environment for all students. We are promoting empathy, patience, and understanding, traits that will serve our students well, not just in the classroom, but in the broader world. By understanding and addressing the root causes of behavioral issues, we can create a more inclusive and supportive learning environment for all students.